All right. What is up? You magnificent hustlers, it is your favorite 20-something financial wizard back again. And today, oh boy, today we are going nuclear on some serious BS. Seriously, get ready, because we are about to dismantle the top 10 biggest lies you have been fed about getting rich in your 20s. And trust me, I am 27, sitting on about 1.3 million in liquid assets. Not to brag, but to say this, I am not special. I am not some genius. I did not come from money. I did not have some massive head start. The only thing that was different, and this is the kicker, was everything I was told about money and getting rich. All of it, 100%, was either completely wrong or worse. It was designed to keep me comfortable, and that, my friends, is what this video is all about. Because these lies, they are not necessarily coming from bad people. No, they are coming from your teachers, your parents, your friends, social media, people who genuinely, truly believe what they are telling you. And that right there is the problem. Because 99% of this stuff, it is pure, unadulterated BS. And if you keep following that path, you are never ever going to get rich. But here's the good news. If you do the exact opposite of everything on this list, I believe, with every fiber of my being, that anyone watching this can get filthy rich, and I am at least partially living proof of that. So, let us not waste another second. Let us dive into the first lie. Number 1, you have to be smart to get rich. You have got to have good grades. Man, oh man. This one is the absolute funniest, the most hilarious lie of them all. I was a straight D student in high school, not C's, not a couple B's. Nope, straight D's. I failed multiple classes, more than I can count on one hand. I was not that kid the teachers pointed to, saying, "That one is going places." Nah, I was the kid whose teachers were calling home, suggesting special learning programs because they genuinely thought I was, a little slow, right? And that is when I started thinking, oh, maybe this whole smart thing is not for me. Maybe I am just destined to be a loser my whole life. This was like the mid to early 2000s, and then something shifted. I started actually paying attention. I looked at streamers, content creators who were just blowing up at that time. Now, I do not necessarily agree with a lot of what streamers today do, their content, their behavior, whatever, but that is not the point here. The point is, a lot of these guys were making 100 grand, 200 grand, $500,000 a month, millions of dollars a year, while someone with a finance degree from an incredible school, working 70, 80-hour weeks, was barely clearing. Is the streamer smarter? Almost certainly not, at least not in the traditional book smart sense. But what they have, my friends, is leverage. They found a way to make money that scales, without their time being the bottleneck. They played this game completely differently. Book smarts and your grades. None of that is what gets you rich, critical thinking, or figuring out how to create value. Even if it is just attention on the internet, that, my friends, is what gets you rich. In this day and age, and those things, those are completely learnable. They are not determined by your GPA. I look at a lot of people I went to high school with, and not to be a dick, but they spent so much money on their degrees, spent multiple years in school, and they are coming out with debt, and they are not much further ahead of me. If anything, some are behind, and that is becoming more and more common. So, again, the smartest thing I ever did, the absolute smartest thing, was not letting my grades define me as a person, and what I was capable of. And that leads us perfectly into the next lie. Number 2, your 9 to 5 will make you rich. Just stay comfortable at the job. No, it will not. Dude, I am telling you, the sooner you understand this, the better off you will be, unless you are at a tech startup with crazy equity, or you are a VP or a C-suite executive at a massive, huge company. Unless you are in a very high-leverage career path, it is not going to make you wealthy. I promise you, your employer, and this is by design, your employer needs your labor. That is the transaction. They pay you enough to keep you showing up, enough to keep you comfortable, but not enough for you to feel the urgency to go build something on your own. And I am not saying that is some grand conspiracy. It is literally called golden handcuffs. That is why it is called that, right? A comfortable employee is a reliable one, but that, my friends, that is the enemy. That is the enemy of money. The difference between a job and an actual business or money is your assets, right? Your job gives you income in exchange for your time. The moment you stop showing up, the income stops, right? That is the issue, a business or investments or real estate or content. Whatever it is, something that can generate value whether you are there or not. That is leverage, right? That is what is going to make you wealthy. So, you need to figure out something that can grow beyond what your time alone could produce. Use the job, use the income as a stepping stone. Use the stability, but do not mistake it for a guaranteed path to wealth. Because I promise you, dude, it is not. And that brings us to lie. Number 3. Just relax, stay at the job, just chill. You do not. Dude, I am not trying to be a doomer here, but I am 27, turning 28. And I can tell you from direct personal experience that your 20s go by in an absolute blink, and I am not one of those people who just says it as a cliche. I mean, literally one day you are going to look up, whether it is 3 years, 5 years later, and think, I cannot believe it has already been almost since 2018 when I turned 20. This decade has flown by, right? I am not saying do not enjoy them, right? Have your fun, build your friendships, go to the parties, like, that stuff matters, and I mean that. But there is a huge difference between living your 20s fully and just floating through them because someone told you there was no rush. There is a rush, I promise you. And the thing that is unique about this time period, and nobody spells this out, is that you have no mortgage, you have no kids, you have no serious obligations that can lock you into something specific. That is freedom. That is optionality, right? That is an asset that is quietly expiring every year that passes. So again, and I am not saying just a few years, 1 to 2 solid years of hyper-focused effort can set you up for your entire life, right? I promise you, that is just math. And when you put your head down and just build, it feels fun. It is good to build a business. No distractions. This is do not let anyone talk you out of this stage. This is what built me, my couple $1,000,000 at this point. My $1,000,000 in sales, like that is how this works. Okay, and that brings us to number 4. Number 4, rich people just got lucky. Or they had an inheritance. Man, I have heard it a million times, especially in my comments. Oh, you just got lucky. Or you had an inheritance. Like, statistically, it is physically impossible for the majority of wealthy people to have gotten that purely through luck or inherited money. The numbers literally do not support it, right? This one falls apart the second you look at it. But again, the belief, this is what the issue with this one is. This is more mindset. This does nothing for you, dude. It is toxic. If you think this way, I used to be this person. I used to think this way, it is like an insecurity. When you believe success is luck, what you are really doing is you are building yourself a very comfortable exit ramp into the poison of apathy. Because then, why bother, right? Who cares? He just got lucky. It does not matter. We can all just chill. We are all equal. No, it is not. Dude, and I see this in real time. As much as I hate this damn website, I sometimes get notifications from Reddit from people in their early 20s who are worth multi-six figures. And I smile, but there are unfortunately a ton of comments, especially in the cesspool of Reddit, saying, oh, daddy's money, or a nice inheritance, bro, or he did not say he started off with a small loan of $1 million. It is like, from grown men who just never tried anything, who never took the risk, who are probably just projecting their own insecurity onto someone who actually did it. You need to stay far away from these people, and you need to stop listening to this garbage. If you are building something in your 20s, expect it. This is going to happen. People never took a swing at someone who was not winning. It is just how it is. You have got to block it out. But promise you, just know that belief will keep you on the outside looking in. And this goes into number 5, which is like number 5, wait until you are ready. Everything needs to be perfect to start. Everything needs to be perfect to start. You do not need to map things out. It is like ready does not exist. I promise you, nobody has ever felt ready. I was not ready to start my business. Not even close. I was not ready to start this YouTube channel. I wanted everything to be perfect. Trust me, the logos, the camera quality, the mic quality. If you go listen to my early videos, I sound like crap, right? That mentality is almost what kept me from starting. And look at what would have happened if I did not. Right, this is what I try to tell people all the time. This business I built, the channel, none of it would exist if I had waited. So, the feeling of readiness is a lie. Your brain tells you to avoid the discomfort, to avoid the uncertainty, and that is kind of the fun part. It is like what happens. Worst case, you make some videos, nothing goes for it, and then best case, you get to make a ton of money and meet some new people. Like, how cool would that be? Jump out of the plane, build your parachute on the way down, you are going to figure it out because you have to. And that pressure, that is one of the most powerful functions that exist. It is human nature at this point. All the people who wait until they are ready are the ones who just stay stuck their entire lives. Dude, start now. And of course, I have said this before, my biggest thing of wealth was the lever of my business, and it is how I am able to make 20 to 30 grand a month profit in the place. I am helping others like yourself do the exact same thing by selling a skill as a service. You can make your first couple grand a month online. That is what I will help you do. I do lead gen personally, but we have got guys doing appointment setting, AI consulting, copywriting. I will help you learn one of these skills. Get your first few clients. You can apply below if you are interested. We will get on a call to discuss further. Now, lie number 6. Number 6, you need to take huge risks. You need to innovate. You need to, keep your life on the line. You do not, dude. This is what gets a lot of people completely frozen. They feel ready, and they finally take that plunge. And I get why, but when your idea of getting rich involves betting everything, burning your safety net, going all in on something, that is never, that you cannot do that. Most people should not do that. I did not do that. You are going to need to take calculated risks, uncomfortable ones, but the image of like a reckless dude just betting it all on red, that is just not realistic, right? What actually will do the heavy lifting is skills and income. That is it. That is like, if you could do that, focus on that, you are 70% of the way there. For me personally, I built real income first through a sales job, a job where I was learning a skill, getting paid, and then eventually building my own client book of business. And then that skill used to start my own agency, right? It was not a huge, massive bet. It did not cost me any money. It cost me a bit of time. So you do not need to jump off a cliff and hope for the best. The risks you need to take are real, right? Leaving comfort is a risk. Potentially leaving your job or taking a leave is a risk, right? Starting anything is a risk, but you need to bet on yourself. You do not need to blow up your life to get rich. Smart, calculated, consistent risks beat the big reckless ones every single time. I can tell you that and promise you that. Now, number 7. Number 7, hard work alone will make you rich. I have seen a lot of debate on this. I want to be clear about it. You are not building anything significant without putting in real work. Okay, let us just say that these videos, they are work. If you want to build a business, it is going to be a lot of hard work for sure, but it is not going to be the thing that does it alone, right? A janitor and a CEO, they probably work similar hours. Both of them work extremely hard. They are putting in their time, but the CEO, the financial outcomes are completely different. The CEO has a team, he has leverage. He has probably assets, he has other companies that he is in. The CEO is using other people's time and skills and money to generate outcomes that go beyond well past him, that just do one singular thing like the janitor, right? Again, this is not a disrespect thing, I am just using the complex alone. The janitor is trading time for money. That is it, he gets a paycheck. He is done. The CEO has so many cobwebs of businesses and things that he is involved in because there are only so many hours in a day. We all have 24 hours in a day, right? So you should ask yourself, how do I build leverage? How do you get employees working on your behalf? How do you create content that will generate literal views while you sleep? How do you maybe buy a business or build a business that will grow without your input? That is the unlock. Okay, hard work will get you in the game, but leverage is how you sustain or win it long term. And then going to number 8, you need a formal education. We kind of talked about this already. Dude, I barely graduated school. I cannot count how many classes I failed, but I had something as early as grade 9. This obsession with entrepreneurship, the Twitch streaming thing, and then I tried real estate wholesaling, and then I tried private equity deal sourcing. I did not know exactly what I wanted to build. I just knew the direction, right? And I kept going and I kept trying stuff and, I learned a lot from videos that were free, courses, books, mentors, all this stuff. Learning from people who had actually done what I was trying to do. I never paid for a university degree, and I could tell you I do not believe a degree would have gotten me any faster or closer to where I am now. I probably would have actually hindered my progress if I am being honest.